Well, the first thing that you've got to do is get some of that okra that is like, I don't know, 12 feet tall.
Let's see how tall it is
Okay,
before I pick it.
let's see how tall that is.
We brought the tape measure out so I
Well,
could see how tall it was. See if I can get to the tallest one over here. Without the tape measure falling down. Still right about there.
yeah.
I'm at 10 feet 8 inches.
So 10 feet 8 inches, that's tall okra, y'all.
Yeah.
His mom was saying the other week that his grandma used to say that if you plant your okra on your knees, it won't be so tall. I think next year we need to plant our okra on our knees.
Oh, I was standing on a ladder when I planted this one.
Oh, well, don't do that next year.
Okay.
Please. Wait, how'd you manage that? How are you even going to get that way up there?
Have y'all seen one of these?
Oh my gosh, this is the best garden picking apron. It's like a kangaroo pouch.
All right. How do you pick 10-foot tall okra?
You don't?
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
Watch.
okay.
I got the tallest one. You just work it down. Now, y'all, the situation we're in is it's the middle of October and the okra, actually the whole garden is still producing, but it's about to freeze. So we got to get all of what we can out of the garden right now and call it a season for 2024.
But wow, what a season it has been though. Because y'all, I ain't gonna be picking very much, in case y'all were wondering. I'm just out here to supervise to make sure he gets everything.
You are good at supervising.
I am. I'm in my best role right now. Man, we had a really good season though this year. This garden produced pounds and pounds and pounds of tomatoes, okra, green beans, more cucumbers than I care to mention. And the hot peppers have absolutely just been prolific.
Yeah, crazy.
When we get over there, we'll show you guys the amount of hot peppers that are still remaining that need to be picked. We attribute it to a couple of things.
My good looks?
Yes, honey, your good looks.
I thought so.
Okay. No, that wasn't really what I was getting at, though. No, one thing that we did was about this time last year, we started working on this year's garden. One of the things that we do is during the winter time, we implement and put all of our implements into the garden while it's resting. So over the winter, while the garden's resting, what did we do? Oh my gosh, how many pounds of cow poop did you put in here?
Lots.
Uh-huh.
We would clean out the dairy barn area where we were putting down straw. So there was straw mixed in with cow poop, so it had carbon and the nitrogen all mixed in.
Mm-hmm.
And we would just haul it in by the wheelbarrow full. So
Yep.
we put that in. Michaela's rabbit,
Yeah.
when his cage would get cleaned out, that would come in here.
But our primary workers, the key to our successful garden is we put all of our layer chickens into this area with the poultry netting around it. We take up everything that is here and we throw them in here, and they spend the entire winter in here scratching and pecking and eating and pooping, because chickens can lay down some poop. And the nutrition in their poop and the fertilizer, adding it to the soil, and then it gets to sit for months.
Right.
The benefits are phenomenal. So we've had this garden 3 times now.
Yes.
3 years.
Yep.
We've gardened in this garden.
And each year it has gotten better.
Yeah.
As we've been able to do more and more with the soil. And y'all, we're regenerative farmers. We grow all kinds of protein: beef, lamb, pork, meat, chickens. So we treat the garden regenerative as well. The key to the whole thing is the soil health. Just like the soil on the pastures, the key to our garden, we believe, is the health of the soil. So we spend the entire time in the off season making sure that the soil is good. It's full of worms, it's full of biology. Like it is a living, active soil, and we work really hard to keep it that way in a regenerative farming style with our garden too. Man, everywhere I look, there's more okra. It's too bad it's gonna freeze.
Missed one.
No.
This is going to be a long project for you, clearing all of this out today, because I don't have any hands.
That's all right. I'm working fast. Almost halfway.
Okay, when he says almost halfway, that is our way of saying we ain't even close. How about we head over and talk about the tomatoes and see the peppers and walk down the pepper aisle and do that, and then you can come back and do that way up high reach.
Okay.
I love okra though.
Here you go.
Oh man, yeah, I'll take one. I love to eat okra, plain, just straight out of the garden, like a snack.
All right, y'all, watch how this works.
What?
Ain't that cool?
Ain't that cool? Yeah, you're cool.
Okay, peppers, you say.
Tomatoes,
Tomatoes.
and then peppers. We're not gonna pull all the tomatoes off these vines.
Oh my gosh. Look at the tomatoes. I think you need to pick all of the spoon tomatoes.
I ain't never getting, wait, hang on, let me get up here. We're never doing spoon tomatoes again. Man, we're still making so many tomatoes, and it is October, and they're still delicious. Yeah, we probably want to get most of these if we can. They're yummy. Bunch of Amish pastes over here. A bunch. I don't care about the Juliettes, but those Amish pastes, we can eat those for dinner.
We love these Amish paste tomatoes. The later in the season, they've gotten a little bit smaller, but they're still amazing. They're delicious. We like them. We'll definitely be growing them again next year. Oops. So one thing we wanted to talk about with our garden is we're really busy. We mentioned regenerative farming. We just don't have time to babysit a garden. No one thing on a regenerative farm can take up the majority of your time. So the garden for us really has to be pretty much self-sustaining. And what you'll notice is the tomatoes are growing everywhere. The okra is really tall. So like we put the seeds in the ground with the okra. I put 2 seeds in each hole, and then it just grew. Like we didn't thin it out. We didn't do all of these types of things. There's 2 okra stalks growing out of each hole, or 3, some of them. And we really, it was important to us to have the garden, but not for it to consume all of our time. So what you've got is it's really good enough. And it's pounds and pounds and pounds of food that have come out of this thing with very little time spent babysitting it.
The last couple of years, our primary pain point that we had with this garden was weeds, y'all. The weeds, they were out of control. Like we would just look out here and we would be overwhelmed with the amount of weeds just taking over all of our vegetables and all of our hard work. But we didn't have the time, like you was saying, we don't have the time to get out here and weed all of these weeds in a 50 by 30 something garden. So our friends at Living Traditions Homestead, Kevin and Sarah, came out this spring and helped us and showed us how to make this garden hassle-free. And oh my goodness, y'all, it did. Because we laid down the 6-foot weed fabric and nailed it all to the ground. And then we also installed basically a professional watering system. It's automatic with the water tape, I guess, with these emitters with little holes in them every 12 inches. And you turn it on, low pressure water, just waters the garden. We walk out here, turn the water on, and then go about our business. And it has allowed us to be able to produce a whole bunch of food and not be overwhelmed by moving the water hose and moving the sprinkler around and picking the weeds and all of the things that we all think of when it comes to gardening. And this system that we put in place this year, we won't garden without it. If we're going to garden in the ground, like with all in-ground gardening versus raised beds, if we're going to garden like this with our lifestyle and our personalities, we have to have this system. And it has been an absolute godsend. And I highly recommend the things that we used. And they're in the Amazon store. Go and check them out. The weed cloth and all of the tools to make your garden this spring. You could go ahead and start planning now and get your supplies so that when March rolls around, you're ready to go.
Did y'all know that lemongrass was 6 feet tall? I didn't.
I helped. I helped. There's a couple of these red roasting peppers that are really red and ready. As I was passing by here, I saw them. I'm like, oh man, we love roasting these, but we also love just cutting them up and throwing them in a salad. Another thing, because we don't eat potato chips and stuff like that, you can slice these things and turn them into scoops. So you can make like a yummy keto sour cream dip and use these for your chips. Okay, here, put these in your little kangaroo pouch. There you go.
The peppers have done really well again. I think I'm the saddest about the peppers going away. So we've gone through the peppers in past videos. We're not going to go through every single one of them, but I will say we have been very happy with our pepper crop this year. We've been freezing them whole, most all of them, and we're going to process the peppers throughout the next couple of months. We'll take you along as I pick a few of them. There's no way that I can pick all of them right now.
Okay.
So I'll start with picking a few of the jalapenos. You can see into the season, they're getting small. I heard it.
Yep. We'll get a couple of those bell peppers. Oh, goodness.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice bell peppers. Beautiful bell peppers. Oh, these two are a really good example of a male bell pepper and a female bell pepper.
Huh.
3, 4.
Okay, I have to add, while the Well, the weed cloth and the watering system have been pseudo heroes in this garden for this season. The real heroes have been the Nana and the Papa, who live in Oklahoma, but have spent a lot of the days this summer and this gardening season over here with us at the farm. And they have been the #1 garden tenders this season. And having the weed cloth down has just made it to where those guys can get out here and kind of enjoy picking and not have to rifle through the weeds and the dirt. And it's an easier, cleaner environment for anyone to be out here. And we cannot thank them enough for coming over and helping us out. And I say all of that because there was a funny story that she was telling us the other day about their garden back in Oklahoma. And she hadn't been getting very many good ripe tomatoes out of their garden. They have an raised bed, above ground, like it's a swimming pool, a raised bed garden, like maybe, is it like an 8 by 16 or 20 or something like that. And produces a ton of food. They've got some amazing soil over there for their garden. And she was saying something kept getting her tomatoes, like eating them. And she thought it was the bunny rabbits, but turns out it wasn't the bunny rabbits. They were cleaning it out. They were coming over here to help us out. And they said, just get rid of it. We're not getting any anyway. And as they were kind of cleaning out their garden, a family of the fattest mice come running out of their garden. And they had been fat and sassy and happy all garden season long, eating her tomatoes, y'all. And while we have got a gargantuan amount of tomatoes behind us, it has been wonderful to have too many, because those guys have been able to enjoy fresh tomatoes while the mice were enjoying theirs. Yeah, dude, those are lovely.
These are beautiful.
They're beautiful. I mean, the whole pepper, like, there isn't any, like, disease.
No.
There aren't hardly any bugs to speak of. It's nearly a jungle. It has been ridiculously prolific. And I couldn't speak higher for the current system we have. You did talk about these tomato cages for the peppers, though, saying maybe not next year.
We can't put them in the ground far enough. Our soil is so rocky. We've got garden soil that's, 6, 7, 8 inches deep, but then the dirt underneath that soil is so full of rocks here in the Ozarks that when you put the cages down, you just hit rocks and you can't get them like wedged down in far enough. And so you show them the cages around those bell peppers, they end up just sort of falling over. And, they didn't do a great job holding the peppers up. We may try to find something different. This cattle panel for the tomatoes, it has done a great job. So we may do something like this next year, where we put a cattle panel next to the peppers also, and then just attach them to the panel to hold them up. It's too bad we're about to lose all this, but it's the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Guess that's what happens. These things are so good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go dump these so I can get some of the hot peppers. These are our Harold St. Bart's amazing, flavorful habanero peppers. We love them. They're our favorite habanero. Along with the Harold St. Bart's, we have some beautiful red habaneros. They're just a regular, normal habanero, and we love them too. And as you can see, these plants are, 4 feet tall, maybe more, and they're producing just some beautiful, beautiful peppers. We have some serranos, and we've gotten a lot of them also. They've made a bunch of beautiful serranos. The ghost peppers are going crazy right now. These things just look mean. They're all bumpy and got a tail on them. They are hot. We like them too. These are cayennes. Last year we grew Thai chilies. This year we grew cayennes, and we've had a bunch of cayennes already off of these plants, and we've been able to smoke them, dehydrate them, and put them into a powder. So we basically just have our own powdered cayenne, like what you would buy at the store. These are banana peppers, and some of them are hot.
And some of them are not.
Some of them are not. And
it's like pepper roulette.
Take your pick. Or, I mean, you never know what you're going to get, I guess. And they're really nice also. Look at these guys. Seems so nice. And then these last ones are a Hungarian wax, and they look like a banana pepper, but they're pretty hot. These guys are. And then this one plant is not doing great out of all of the rest of them.
Gardening like this is a little bit of a challenge. I don't want to get bucked off again. I have a feeling that this is going to do it for our garden for this year.
Yeah, I'm sad because the peppers are doing so good right now. So I am a little bit sad to be saying so long to the peppers.
Yeah. But it's always a refreshing time for us to be able to take a little break from some things in the wintertime and in the fall. And as you can see, I'm kind of bummed up right now. If you're new here, I got bucked off of a fence and tore a bunch of stuff in my knee, and I'm looking at reconstructive surgery here soon. If you are not new here, I thank you so much for your concern and your prayers, and please keep them coming as we face the next couple of weeks here at the end of October, doing what's got to be done. So
yeah, stick around. We're gonna take you along on the journey as we prep this garden for next year. So you'll see how we do things to get it ready so that we'll have another amazing garden next season.
Thanks for hanging out with us in the garden, y'all. If you're new, hit the subscribe button so you can follow along and, I don't know, see what else goes on in our life. And until next time, bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.